name is Staff Sergeant Jeffrey Page. I work here at the UTES as a wheel mechanic, inspector. I'm on the recovery team here, so anytime there's a need for recovery assets, they call our team up to assist the mission.
And how long have you been in the National Guard?
So I've been in the National Guard for 22 years. I've worked here at the shop for 18.
Okay. Yeah. A lot of experience with this kind of stuff? Yes,
got thrown in the fire, feet first, getting my feet wet with it, but over the years, yes, with working at the shop, you get to use your skills a lot more. So yeah, I'm a mechanic by trade. Started out as a young teenager working on my own cars, and then eventually got into contracting with Fort Campbell, and then got my foot in the door here at the UTES in 2005.
So in 22 years, have you seen anything like this happen where a vehicle rolled over the way that this record did? And just talk about any other experience that you might have had.
So in my experience of 22 years as a mechanic, I've never seen a rollover like this before. It's quite scary, I would say, intense at first when I first got the call. I didn't know the situation of the accident, but yes, it would be at the top of my list as experience. So it's an 1120, M1120 A4 LHS. It's a Hemet-based chassis truck with the LHS hook on it. It was carrying a 3,000-gallon water distribution system on it.
Okay, and then the day that it happened, regular working day here for you?
Yeah, so it was a regular working day, showed up to work, got the call about 11:30 for a wrecker recovery mission in Marion, Kentucky for the state active duty mission that was carried on by the 206 Battalion.
Okay, and through your 20 years experience, I'd asked you, had you seen anything like this, but how many times do you have to go rescue a vehicle out on the roads?
So it's not often, but it's say maybe 2 times a quarter. We get a call, say, hey, go pick up this truck. And it's something just with either drill or it's a stay active duty or just a daily run up to Frankfort. It'll be a vehicle overheat or tire replacement or go pick this small piece of equipment up. But
okay,
nothing.
So it's not uncommon to get a call.
Yeah, it's not uncommon, but of this stature, no, it was.
Okay, so then walk me through, you get the phone call, you know where to go, you guys just hop in a truck and head out there?
So we got the phone call, Chief Schutz here at the UTES got the phone call for the recovery mission, and then he came across the PA system and asked the whole record team to come to his office. And then he briefed us on the situation of what he knew at the time. And so it was a water truck had rolled over in Marion. It's actually north of Marion in Maneuver, Kentucky. And we knew there was 3,000 gallons of water on the back of this truck, and then it went down a 25-foot embankment and rolled over at least a couple times. But we had no idea of the situation of the truck, the landscape of where it was landed, and then, but we knew that the occupants of the truck were okay.
And with that information, you don't really know what you're going to get. When you rolled up on it, what was your first thought? So
when we first rolled up on it, I didn't know during the brief if the truck was on its side or if it was upright. So I brought a 10-ton wrecker, a 5-ton wrecker, a contact truck, and a backup vehicle, F-150, with 7 personnel with me. And so we rolled up on the scene and we're like, oh my gosh. And we took a deep side that it was upright on its tires, but the magnitude of the 25-foot embankment and how far it was off the road, it was a challenge for us at first. But we came together, had a little powwow, and executed the plan.
And how long did it take you to get, from the time you arrived, to get that truck back on the road?
So we arrived shortly, it was probably right after 1 o'clock, I would say. And by 6 o'clock, we were leaving town, Marion, headed down the road. So it took a little bit. With the heat involved, the heat index I think was 116 that day. And so we took frequent breaks, and the highway department, the Kentucky Highway Department was we were very grateful for their support on hydration and help with diverting traffic for us.
Now this wasn't an easy just hook up and grab out of there. This was actually tied up in some tons of metal and the guardrail wrapped in it.
Yes.
Can you talk about having to untangle the guardrail metal and then have to go through a private citizen's lawn, basically?
Yeah.
And pull it?
So when we went to go assess the situation, we walked down a riprap, down a 25-foot embankment with reeds, tall reeds as tall as you are, and finding our path to get down to the truck and to see what was going on. And the truck had pulled up about 200 feet of guardrail off the side of the road and had wrapped itself once around it. And it was coming back out through the first two axles and then going back up to the road. So the first problem we had was how are we going to get this guardrail off? So we tried to unbolt it, and that didn't work because it was all mangled up. So we had a cutting wheel, a 4.5-inch grinder, and about I'd say 125 feet of electrical cord, extension cord, draped off the highway, connected to the contact truck, going to the rolled over truck with one cutting wheel. That's all we had. So we had to get it right the first time and not destroy the cutting wheel to complete the disassembly of the guardrail. So it took about 4 or 5 people, I'd say 30 minutes just to get the guardrail off of it. So
it's pretty incredible to see what the heavy of a truck can do to that metal. What did it look like?
It
when
looked
you saw it?
So the guardrail, it looked like ribbon, wrapping ribbon you put on a gift or a present. So it's just incredible that amount of force and the length of the guardrail that it did that much damage just to the guardrail itself. So.
And how far off the road are we talking? Like this had rolled?
So I would estimate about 125 feet. It rolled off the highway. So it's quite a distance to go back and forth to get our tools and take a break and go back and grab some shade in the bottom of the valley. So.
And if you hadn't heard in the initial reports that the soldiers were okay, what was your thoughts when you first saw the condition of the vehicle?
At first glance of the vehicle, looking at the cab, I was amazed that they survived. The passenger side was completely collapsed on top of the seat, plus some, and he was 6 foot. And so I was amazed with the aluminum cab, the construction of the cab. Seat belts work and Kevlar's work, and these guys were able to walk away. It's just amazing.
Yeah. It's pretty incredible.
Pretty incredible.
So after you get it on the road, you bring it back here. What's the plans? What do you do with the vehicle?
So with one that extensive, the UTES doesn't have the capability to actually tear down and rebuild this truck. So we've condition coded it and for turn in, and we're waiting for TACOM to get back with us and let us know when they're going to come pick it up. So hopefully it will be soon and it'll be able to be reused, but it looks like it's a can point for it right now.
For sure.
Yeah.
It looks like it's
It's
definitely
totally destroyed.
headed for the trash bin.
Yeah.
Vehicle. So hopefully we never see this again. But are there lessons that you guys have taken from that experience that you can apply to anytime else you go out and see a situation like this, or hopefully not as bad?
So I would say the lessons we've learned from this mission is don't take for granted of your BII that you have on your truck. We could have needed the torch acetylene tanks on it, and people don't check those like they should during the PMCS, but extension cords and more grinding wheels, definitely. But I would say stay on top of your PMCS, and we will continue like we have, but definitely keep that in the back of my mind for the next mission.